Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with us. And today we're going to be looking at the story of Vicky Dávila.
Oh, yeah.
In Colombian politics.
Vicky Dávila, yeah. A big name.
A big name.
Yeah. In Colombian journalism for a long time.
Huge name in Colombian journalism, known for that sort of hard-hitting interview style and really kind of pushing the boundaries.
For sure.
And just recently announced that she is going to be running for president.
Yeah, she did.
Of Colombia in 2026, so.
It's a big jump, right? I mean, we're
huge.
Deep in Colombian politics, so you know who she is and you know her impact.
Yeah.
And I think this is a story that really kind of gets at the heart of how journalism and power really intertwine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like watching a real life political thriller unfold. So let's rewind a little bit.
Yeah, let's rewind a little bit.
And give everyone a little bit of background.
Well, I mean, she's had a long and influential career in journalism, really culminating in her role at Semana.
Yeah.
She's become a household name, shaping public opinion and making headlines herself.
Absolutely. And this wasn't, totally out of the blue.
Right.
There had been rumors circulating for quite some time that she might make this jump.
Right.
But it really became real when Ricardo Ospina, who's another big name in Colombian journalism, broke the story.
Exactly.
So Ospina himself is a very well-respected journalist. So that kind of, added fuel to the fire.
Added more legitimacy to it, I think, right?
Yeah, it did.
Like, I mean, if he's the one reporting on it, then there's got to be something to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and Dávila stepped down from her post at Semana just before the announcement as well.
She did, yeah. Talk about a dramatic exit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you have to wonder, was she planning this all along, or was this something, it's really a fascinating kind of development.
And so who is stepping into those big shoes at Semana?
Well, Lancheros is the guy, right? But he's got a pretty impressive resume himself.
Yeah, he does.
Worked at Canal Capital, the Alcaldía de Bogotá, and El Tiempo.
Yeah, he's no stranger to the world of...
He's not a newbie.
Journalism.
Yeah, right.
So definitely one to watch how he...
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how he steers Semana, especially with Dávila's legacy.
Yeah.
Looming large, Now, back to Dávila's campaign, Ospina's reporting also revealed that she's planning to run as an opposition candidate to President Gustavo Petro.
Okay, so that gives us a little bit more of a concrete idea of where she stands in the
political landscape.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's a strategic move for sure, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if she's looking to consolidate support amongst those who are critical of the current administration, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. And we can turn to some recent polling data from Innovamer to see where she stands. And she's currently sitting in fourth place.
That's right.
In national voting intentions.
And it's 7.7%.
Well, 7.7%.
So, not leading the pack just yet.
Not leading the pack, but definitely in the race.
Yeah, but definitely in the race.
And especially when you consider she's polling second among right-leaning candidates.
Exactly.
So trailing behind Germán Vargas Lleras.
That's right.
But ahead of Miguel Uribe Turbay. So it's early days, but it's early the potential path there.
But elections are dynamic beasts, and those numbers can swing wildly as we get closer to 2026.
Absolutely.
But, they do offer us a glimpse into the current political landscape and how voters might be leaning.
And it's not like this whole presidential run was just a random thought bubble. I mean, there were hints that Dávila's ambitions stretched beyond the newsroom. Remember that very public spat she had with the former mayor of Bogotá?
Oh, how could we forget? That was a showdown for the ages.
Claudia Lopez.
Yeah, it all started when Lopez basically cornered Dávila about her political aspirations, pretty much daring her to come clean about whether she was planning to run.
Yeah, and Dávila didn't hold back?
She did not.
She shot back, accusing Lopez of splurging public funds on self-promotion instead of tackling real city issues like security.
It was like a political chess match.
Totally.
Lopez's seemingly simple question triggered this explosive reaction from Dávila, almost like she was forced to show her hand.
Yeah, totally. Like Lopez was calling her bluff, forcing her to either squash the rumors or address them head on.
And we all know how that played out.
And we all know how that played out. Yeah.
And that exchange with Lopez, along with Dávila's, big announcement, really fanned the flames of controversy.
Oh, yeah.
People are raising some serious ethical eyebrows about this whole journalist turned politician situation.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's a massive conflict of interest.
Right.
That she may have been using her platform at Samana to push a certain political agenda.
Right.
And kind of blurring the lines between unbiased reporting and campaigning.
It's a tricky situation, isn't it?
Oh.
I mean, it does raise those questions about, was she laying the groundwork for her political ambitions all along? Potentially, at the expense of fair and balanced coverage.
Right. And now some are even comparing her to figures like Donald Trump and Javier Milei.
Right.
So are they saying that she might try to tap into those cultural anxieties and employ that populist rhetoric?
Yeah. I mean, it feeds into this global trend we're seeing, right? Of media personalities leveraging their fame to step into the political arena.
Yeah.
And that in itself is a phenomenon worth examining.
For sure. For sure. And it's not just about blurring the lines between journalism and politics. It's also about that perception of hypocrisy.
Right.
I mean, Dávila flat out denied having any political ambitions.
Yeah.
And now, boom, she's running for president.
Exactly. That denial adds another layer of complexity to this, right?
Yeah.
People are feeling misled, even betrayed.
Yeah.
They're questioning her motives and accusing her of dishonesty.
And it seems like that lack of transparency is really hurting her credibility, at least for some.
Right.
And we're seeing a lot of that anger and frustration play out on social media.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There's some pretty harsh words being thrown around.
Well, like this one prominent influencer tweeted, "Dávila is a fraud, a hypocrite, and the biggest liar in the country."
Wow.
That's a pretty scathing indictment, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that tweet is loaded with anger and distrust.
For sure.
And it sounds like this influencer and probably many others are deeply skeptical of Dávila's intentions. What are they so worried about?
Well, I mean, in a country like Colombia, with its history of political turmoil and corruption, some people fear that Dávila might be a pawn for powerful figures with their own agendas.
Right.
They worry about who's pulling the strings and what their ultimate goals might be.
So are they saying that she might be connected to groups who want to undermine democracy and push a harmful ideology?
I mean, those are some of the concerns being voiced, right? And it all underscores those deep divisions and anxieties that exist within Colombian society.
Yeah.
People are worried about the direction that the country's headed and what a Dávila presidency might mean.
It feels like the stakes have been raised tenfold.
Yeah.
This isn't just another election.
No.
It feels like a battle for the soul of the nation.
I mean, that sense of urgency is definitely palpable. But it's important to remember that this kind of charged rhetoric isn't unusual in political campaigns.
Right.
Especially in highly polarized environments.
But these accusations against Dávila and the concerns about her ties to powerful figures shouldn't be taken lightly.
Absolutely not. I mean, we need to look beyond the sensationalism and try to understand the complex realities at play.
Yeah.
And that's what we're aiming to do here, right? Equip you with the information and context you need to form your own informed opinions about this situation.
Exactly. So as we sort of wrap up our deep dive into Vicky Dávila's controversial leap into politics, let's step back and kind of recap what we've learned.
Well, it's clear that Dávila's transformation from star journalist to presidential hopeful has ignited this fiery debate about the sometimes blurry boundaries between media and politics.
Absolutely. And it's forced us to really confront that question of how the media can shape political discourse and how individuals can use their platforms for personal gain.
And we've seen how public opinion of Dávila has been shaped by her past actions and reporting, with some accusing her of hypocrisy, dishonesty, and even dangerous alliances.
Yeah. It's a story with so many twists and turns.
Right.
What happens next is anyone's guess.
Yeah, it really is.
But one thing is for sure, this story's far from over.
Far from over.
And it'll be fascinating to see how it unfolds as the 2026 election draws closer.
One of the big questions that's looming over all this is whether Dávila's background in journalism will ultimately help or hurt her political ambitions.
Will her media savvy help her connect with voters and craft compelling narratives, or will her past actions and reporting come back to haunt her? Feels like we're watching her go all in on this in like a high-stakes poker game.
Yeah.
What will her next move be?
Yeah, only time will tell.
We'll have to wait and see.
But it will be really fascinating to see how she navigates this complex political landscape.
Yeah.
And addresses those concerns that are swirling around her candidacy.
Yeah.
She's got a lot to prove.
She does. You know, this story is bigger than just one person, right?
Right.
It's about the changing face of power and these blurring lines between media and politics. And we're seeing this trend pop up all over the world, right?
We are. All over.
Yeah, it's a wake-up call for all of us to really pay attention and think critically about the information we're consuming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We can't just be passive observers.
Yeah.
We need to engage, ask tough questions, and demand transparency.
Yeah.
That's how we hold those in power accountable, whether they come from the world of media or politics.
So as we wrap up this Snipe Dive,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with a question to ponder.
Okay.
What role do you think the media should play in a democracy?
Ooh, that's a good one.
How can we ensure that the information we're getting is fair and accurate, especially in this age of misinformation and political spin?
Those are the million-dollar questions.
Yeah, they are.
And the answers aren't always easy to find.
Not easy.
But, the more we engage in these conversations, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this ever-changing world.
Absolutely couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the heart of Colombian politics. Until next time, stay curious.
Stay curious.
Stay informed and keep asking those tough questions.
Vándalos.